I want to learn about you as an entrepreneur because obviously, your background, everything that you're telling me just screams entrepreneur and looks like look where the trends are and kind of. So how did it all come about? I know you told the story you had, you kind of had a big company and you were doing a bunch of multiple different things. When you actually found junk removal and you did the rebranding and everything, did you just focus then on junk removal or were you still
Yes.
doing other services?
Yes, I was focused 150% on junk removal. For 20 years of being on call, 24-hour water damage and fire service, I had missed so many things with my family, with my nieces and nephews, vacations. It seemed like every time I sat down to dinner or a birthday party for one of the kids, it was you had to run out and take care of something. And after 20, I was 35, so 20 years, I was tired and I was ready to change connections there. And that's pretty much when the time when junk removal was becoming a very big household name, and everybody was getting a trailer, doing this, doing that. But I was a little ahead of the game because I had already had some equipment. um, but I have to tell you this, one of the things that I didn't share at the event that we were all at, because I was a little nervous talking, was everybody has a story. And I'm old fashioned, I'm the youngest of five girls. My mother and had raised very strong women. And in 2015, I was in an accident that I had a brain injury. I had a brain bleed. And, my life could have been taken from me at that time. It was several months of rehab, occupational therapy, speech, physical therapy, many trips to the Mayo Clinic. I was suffering from 15 to 18 migraines a month. To this day, actually, my neurologist and I were talking about it last week. Every 12 weeks, I still get 31 shots of Botox to my head, so that I can function. It affected my eyesight. I used to ride a Harley. I used to love to be on my jet ski and all that. I had to give all of that up because of my vision. But the point of that is, so many people came to me and they're like, oh, Denise, you need to just go sign up for disability, blah, blah, blah. And I went to my mom, and my family was like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I admit I was in ICU for 3 days, came home, got in the shower, thought I was going to go to work the next day. That didn't happen. So everybody has a story to tell. And to me, especially at my age, it is so important to not judge people and hear what story they have to tell, because it impacts so many of us in this industry. And I'm glad that I stayed pushing forward and I pushed through this illness. And Jamie, I think you've had some issues as well. Don't give up. That's what I always tell everybody. Don't give up. If this is something that you love to do, you just have to keep pushing through it. But that's something I wanted to share. I didn't get the opportunity to do that.
Thank you for sharing that. That is very inspiring story. Thank you, Denise. Denise, I want to hear about how did you, obviously when you figured out when you did the rebranding, you wanted to go all in with the junk removal. How did you go about scaling it to such a large size?
Well, it's it's different for me, I think, because my community has known me for so many years. I'm involved in so many things. I've been involved. I was for years in BNI, Business Network International. I'm involved in our local politics. I just know a ton of people, and I read and I really research into what's happening in our demographic area. And I just said, I follow my gut. That is very important. If you have a feeling about something, don't give up on it. I followed what my feeling was. I reached out, went knocking on doors, went talking to people, and said, hey, this is what I've done. It's still me. You're still going to get the great customer service. I'm on radio a lot here. We have a local AM and FM radio station in our town, and they have a local podcast it's called riverbender.com. I am on that a lot. The more that you put yourself out there, somebody asked a question, was it last night? I think I read in one of the comments in one of the Facebook groups, it said, maybe it was you, Paul, I don't know, something about what is your most important marketing technique that you've used? And my answer was, you have to brand yourself before you can brand anything. If you are a people person, you have to get out and brand yourself and be the face of your business. You're right, 100%. If you don't do that, if you hide behind the phone or hide behind the doors, trust me, they're not going to come knock on your door and say, hey, I need junk removed. You have got to get out there and not be afraid to talk to people.
100%. Branding
Go
is
to
everything.
City council meetings, go to your city council meetings. Go to your breakfast club meetings. Go to your lunch meetings. We have our growth association here, our chamber. Be involved in that. The last 2 years, it's like shocked me. I've been around for so long. I don't know, but in the last 2 years, we've gotten, like 3 major awards. And I'm like, is it because I tell them it's because I'm old and they must think I've got, one foot on the banana peel and the other one going the other way. But it's really, I think too many people make it so complicated. And it doesn't have to be, Paul. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. Just talk. Just a basic conversation with somebody you're sitting next to can lead into a major job, or they may be associated with some major corporation that gets your foot in the door with a lot of apartment complexes. You just don't know.
I agree totally, and that's one of my strengths in life is my brand, and how I just
You got
there's
a
not a
great
person
brand.
that walks past me that I don't see an opportunity where I'm gonna start talking to them and tell them and lead it into junk removal. Before this, it was with the arm wrestling. It was whatever I was in there at that time. That's what I'm out promoting. When I was a fitness model, I was out promoting the fitness and nutrition everywhere I went, and because nobody else is going to push your brand but you, and if you're passionate about your brand, people feel that energy, and it comes contagious, and then you're going to have a lot of people helping you out.